What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bucco Territory presented by the Foul Territory Network. I'm your host, Noah Hiles. Joining me, as always, are my co-hosts, Josh Harrison, a.k.a. J-Hay, and Platinum Key, a.k.a. Mark. And as you can see, we have another guest on the show, new Pirates outfielder Jake Mangum, joining the program for the first time. Jake, welcome to Bucco Territory.
Thanks for having me, guys. Happy to be here.
I'm happy you're able to join us, especially from Mississippi. I know you had to hustle back home before this winter storm just destroyed everything in the country right now. I mean, we were talking about the weather and everything. You got a little taste of the Pittsburgh cold. Are you prepared, to play some cold baseball games here in March in a couple of months?
Yeah, my experience in Binghamton, New York, and Syracuse really, I think, prepped me for that. I was a Rumble Pony, and I was a Syracuse Met. Upstate New York's not too far from Pittsburgh, so I'm used to it. And it's cold Mississippi right now. It's in the 20s, and um, I got a good taste of it yesterday in Pittsburgh. Woke up with a ton of snow on the ground. Drove the rental car to the airport, and it was the first time I've driven in anything like that. But shout out to the Pittsburgh airport. Got us out of there last night at like 5, 6 p.m. I had very little faith we were going to get out of there, but we did. And got home last night, and we're all safe, so we're good.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Awesome. All right. Well, we got a lot of questions
Yeah.
for you. I'm going to give the baton here to Platinum Key, and he'll get us started off.
So, Jake, thank you so much for not only hopping on the podcast here, but also making it to Pirates Fest. I mean, to risk the traveling back to Mississippi during this massive storm, just really appreciated your commitment to show up for us fans, and really awesome to get the chance to meet you. So, my first question was, how was Pirates Fest for you? What was your first impressions of Pittsburgh, the players, the fan base? What was all that like for you?
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for coming to say hello Saturday. It was nice to get to know you a little bit. And as far as FanFest goes, it was awesome. Everyone was super kind. It was nice to kind of meet some of the new guys that I'm now going to be teammates with. When you are the new guy, it's sometimes tough. But everyone was awesome, super nice. Got to know everybody. Everyone seems awesome. Everyone kind of seems like that they're really excited about this season and hoping to win some baseball games. But the fans were awesome, super welcoming, and really knowledgeable about Pittsburgh sports. That's for sure.
Awesome. And I really loved it. You were signing autographs right in front of a bunch of signs that just had no autographs around them. You were just going up offering to people. So really love what you're already doing for the fan base. So my next question, your first career hit was actually against the Pirates. Last year in March 31st into April, you went 8 for 12. Picked up your first hit off of Carmen Mlodzinski. You picked up a single off of Paul Skeens. Had 3 steals, 4 RBI. Has that series been brought up at all as you've met your new teammates?
Nah, very little if it has. But yeah, that was a special night for me for sure. Your first base hit's one you never forget, and
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, that was a really cool series, man. Like I said, I started pro ball a little later than average, and to finally get a shot to play in the big leagues and have 4 hits the night I get my first hit was definitely a memorable one that I'll never
Oh
forget,
yeah.
and it was really cool.
Yeah, and Pirates fans didn't forget it either. I'll tell you that much. That series was the Jake Mangum series, and so it's nice to have you in the black and gold now. uh,
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Love it. So I was doing some research, and I saw that you gave up your scholarship your junior and senior year while you're at Mississippi State, and played on a walk-on for 2 years in college. Can you explain the decision behind that?
Yeah, so I got drafted in 2019 as a senior. That was right before NIL started, so we were sharing 11.7 scholarships between 27 guys with 8 walk-ons. In college, it's 35-man roster, 8 walk-ons, 27 scholarship. Uh, Look, in the state of Mississippi, we don't have a pro team to rally behind. Everyone's Atlanta Braves fans, New Orleans Saints fans. The demographics a little weird, but our state kind of revolves around college sports. My dream as a kid was to play SEC baseball, and I was fortunate enough to go to Mississippi State as a freshman. That was awesome. But after my sophomore year, we kind of agreed that we'd take away the scholarship, and we did double it my sophomore year.
Okay.
I was on a 33% scholarship my freshman year, 66 sophomore year, 0-0 junior senior.
Okay.
And just trying to get the best players possible. Our dream was to win a national championship at Mississippi State, and that's a big reason why I stayed 4 years. I got drafted as a sophomore to the Yankees, junior to the Mets, and a senior to the Mets. Just being a kid from Mississippi, like I genuinely wanted to bring a championship to help bring a championship to Mississippi State. We fell short of that. We went to Omaha twice and went to 4 super regionals. We had great teams. A lot of change and turnover, 4 head coaches in 4 years. But yeah, man, just trying to get the best talent possible to Mississippi State to win some games. And
Love it.
yeah.
Yeah, nice to see that they finally upped the scholarship limit for next year. I think it's 34 or 35 now for the full team. So
Yeah, man. Don't even get me started about what the NCAA is doing right now. I think that they're not doing a very good job of putting guidelines down. It's kind of the wild, wild west right now. But yeah, so when I was there, we were just trying to get the best players we could on 11.7 scholarships.
That's awesome. And hey, congrats on the natty. That's so cool because I know how much that means to Mississippi State.
They won it the first season without our class. I left in 19. COVID was a wash, and then they won it in 2021, and it was a big deal for our university.
Yeah,
it was our first championship in any sport, and we needed it bad.
And so related to Mississippi State here, I hear you may someday be a podcaster as well down the line. The More Cowbell podcast with Brandon Walker. Any updates for all the Mississippi State fans out there?
I'm glad you brought that up, Brandon. I messed with Brandon a lot about that. We've been trying to get that off the ground for a while, but whenever we announced that, Brandon and them moved to Chicago, and the Barstool kind of scene kind of changed a lot. But yeah, we're going to do that eventually. We're just both kind of busy right now, but
understandable.
Yeah, that'll happen one day.
Well, you're going to be a natural whenever it does happen. Look forward to tuning in. I'm going to pass it back over to Noah here.
Yeah, Jake, before I get into my questions, just wanted to show you. This was my prize and my family white elephant gift. My cousin Ryan is a freshman at Mississippi State. He's a part of their golf program. With the
great golf program. They golf out at Old Waverly in West Point, Mississippi. It's like one of the nicest golf courses I've ever played at, dude. It's sick. You need to check it out.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely plan on getting down there. And if I wanted to let his first fall as a freshman, have that to himself. But I was like, yeah, once you're settled in, I'll be heading down to Starkville for a couple fall Saturdays.
Well, I'm about to leave for Florida, but dude, next off season, pull up. We'll go to a football game. I'll take you golfing out at Waverly, Mossy Oak. It's we got some really good golf around here.
Oh, I love that. My first question actually starts in Mississippi. It goes to Jackson Prep. I had an opportunity to go down there, talk to a lot of people because I did a big story on Connor in August. I went to Grit Training. I went to Jackson Prep. Talked to a lot of people that you're probably familiar with.
Yeah.
I got to see the culture of that place, the culture of the baseball program. And then obviously you were a part of a very unique college baseball culture as well, with SEC baseball being what it is down there and building that winning culture that obviously, I mean, you weren't on the national championship team, but like you noted, your senior class kind of laid the foundation for guys like Will Bednar to come in and take that to the next level and get that ring. And then you're also part of a very unique culture professionally. The Tampa Bay Rays have a very unique professional organization. I think one that's probably more unique than most other professional teams. So I wanted to kind of ask an encompassing question. How did each step of your journey kind of shape you and the different cultures that you've been a part of as a player?
For me, we had a really close high school team. We were really good. Won 3 state championships. Had a lot of guys going to play college baseball. And then we go to college, and it's the same thing. It's a big culture piece. We have a big fan base that's really, really die hard about baseball. In the SEC, it's a lot of football schools, but Mississippi State's a baseball school. Dudy Noble Field's a special place, and I highly recommend any baseball fan. It should be on your bucket list to go check out. Um, and then as far as pro ball goes, you try to carry over what you learned your whole life. I grew up with a football background, and culture is a very big piece of what I was taught as a kid. I call me old school, but I think a culture is something that's really, really vital. And you're kind of losing a little bit of that with the transfer portal era, but it really seems like the national championships in football this year really have a nice culture. With what Signetti's preaching at Indiana. But yeah, man, culture is a big piece. Locker room, like togetherness is a big thing. Um, you know, having faith in the guys behind you in the lineup. Um, I'm not going to hit a ton of home runs. I hope to hit more this year, absolutely. But a big piece of what I bring to the table is getting on base, getting to scoring position, and having faith in the guy behind me to drive me in, or having faith in the guy on base to score, stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a big combination of culture, man. Mississippi's got a big baseball culture, and I try to take what I've learned my whole life and apply it to the pro ball level.
Jake, just looking at your game, I think I don't think I'm speaking out of turn when I say you're kind of a throwback player, right? I mean, you're like a gritty guy. You're never gonna be seen walking around the bases or loafing it out in the outfield. Um, but again, you were a part of some organizations who do things very new school. How have you been able to kind of blend the analytical side of the game to your gritty, traditional old school way of playing it?
Well, look, I just grew up playing with a football mindset. My dad's kind of like my closest person throughout the years of teaching me how to play the game, and I've had a lot of great coaches along the way. Um, but yeah, I'm what I bring to the table is I'm going to run hard. I'm going to try to go catch everything that has a hump in it in the outfield. Um, I'm going to try to be a good teammate and put myself in a position where guys can drive me in. And if there's a runner on third base, less than 2 outs, I'm going to touch the baseball and get him in. I understand that we're in an era of home runs and of that type style of play, and I think that that's very important to teams winning. Um, but I also believe that there can be a diverse lineup. I don't think solo home runs win baseball games. I think 2 and 3 run home runs win baseball games. I think eliminating runs scored when you're on defense is a big piece of it. If there's anything I learned from my rookie year as a 29-year-old, it's that the value of 90 feet is very important. Um, I, I think one of the first times Belau actually kind of took me to the side was one time he had a single and I scored from first. And I'll never forget what he told me after I scored, and he kind of let me know that that was an awesome thing, and all this other stuff. But there's different ways to win baseball games, and I'm doing my best to help to prove that. And at the same time, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to slug the ball more. I want to hit more doubles this year. I want to hit more home runs. I want to do a better job of slugging the baseball. But like I said, there's different ways to win baseball games, and I'm here to help any way I can.
My last question for you is from the moment your name was announced in this trade, you were very present online. I mean, you were reacting to it on Twitter. I've seen you go on a whole bunch of podcasts. Obviously, your presence was felt at Pirate Fest. It just seems like you're a guy who's very comfortable in his own skin, in the spotlight. Where did this personality come from? Where did this media savviness, I guess, come from? Have you always been like this, or is this something you made an effort to kind of be to, give back to fans in the game?
We wouldn't really play a sport if it wasn't for the fans. MLB baseball wouldn't be what it is if there wasn't a fan base. At my college, Mississippi State, we take a lot of pride in it being a baseball school. And what makes it a special place is the fact that we get 16,000 people, packed houses to support the baseball team. It wouldn't be the same place without the fans. So it always starts with the fans. Um, and remembering that I was a fan first. When I was a kid, I was a fan. Sure, I played t-ball baseball, kid pitch baseball, all that stuff. But like going back to day one, I was a fan, and I I just remember as a kid, like I thought it was the coolest thing ever whenever players would come up and sign my baseball and sign a bat I had, taking time out of their day to say hello and thank me for being here. That stuff meant a lot to me, and I just always said when I was a kid that if I ever get the opportunity to do that, I'm gonna try to be a light. And it doesn't take a lot of effort to see negativity anywhere. It's pretty easy to find that everywhere. So I'm gonna try to be positive and try to be a light.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, there's another guy like that when I was growing up in Pittsburgh. He wore number 5. Now he's my co-host. So I'm going to pass the interview over to him and let him ask a couple questions now.
Man, I appreciate those words, Noah. Jake, appreciate you being on the show, man. My co-hosts have done a great job of asking some questions, which have given me some insight to you as a ball player. But even your answers also gave me an insight to maybe who you are as a person. And correct me if I'm wrong. I want to revisit your time at Mississippi State, where you went from scholarship to walk on, basically. And I'm familiar with the whole 11.7 scholarships and the whole nine. But what also hurt in that was somebody who was extremely confident in themselves too. Because any person in that position most likely is going to be looking to transfer, looking, oh, how can I get more money or whatever the case may be. Um, it also sounded like you were somebody who's like, okay, I'm confident in my abilities. I know I can still contribute, and at the same time, that's part of being a team player. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but what I saw that in every step of the way as you talked about your story.
Yeah, so I kind of get knocked on for being a 29-year-old rookie, but I'd say looking at that is if you dive into that a little bit, I also had a lot of confidence that I was going to hit when I got the pro ball. Um, I came back for my senior year. I came back for my junior year. And in the college landscape, if you come back for your senior year, you're signing a death wish, basically. I signed for
Plane ticket.
yeah. I signed for a plane ticket. I signed for a locker. And I was 23 years old when I got drafted. But I was confident enough to go back to school and try to finish what I started. And at the end of the day, I think it's ridiculous that you get knocked I signed to go to a 4-year school and you get penalized for staying all 4 years. It's crazy. But I wanted to finish what I started at Mississippi State. It was home to me. Like I stayed home to play college baseball, and it meant a lot to me to bring a championship there. We fell short while we were there, but like they said, we did. I feel like we laid the foundation for them to win it in 2021. But I also had a lot of confidence in myself to go hit in pro ball. 23-year-old draftee, 24 years old, gets canceled due to COVID. So I'm a 25-year-old rookie playing his first season of pro ball in low A baseball. And I knew I had to hit immediately. I knew if I didn't hit that first season, I would have gotten cut and tossed to the side. But had a lot of confidence that I was going to hit it every step, and that's what I've done. 25 years old, first year of pro ball, 29-year-old rookie, and good Lord willing, I've been able to hit every step of the way, and I don't plan for that to stop.
No, man, that's refreshing to hear. Speaking from another guy that carried themselves with a lot of confidence. Trust me, that's refreshing to hear. Pittsburgh fans, one, are also gonna love that. They can feel it. I can feel it. But I'm gonna tell you, 29 ain't old, man. Back when I was playing, which wasn't long
Thank
ago,
you,
29,
thank
20,
you, thank
29 was
you,
considered your prime. Literally, 29 was
thank you,
considered your
man.
prime.
Yeah, it's like
As,
is
and you speak like a guy, as you say, at an age where you understand not only yourself, how you move, what you need to improve on. And these are things that a culture you speak about. I can remember my time in Pittsburgh. That was part of our culture. Was we knew what our strengths were as a team, individually, and we knew how to build off of that and play off of each other's strengths. But at the same time, we held each other accountable. And from the outside looking in, is something that Pittsburgh is missing with the culture. And being a new guy, I asked the same question to Ryan O'Hearn. And it's not anything that you ever have to feel like it, but I was a guy who was traded. I was a guy who signed as a free agent, been new places. And as you progress and you understand yourself more, you understand the game more, you kind of take on a leadership role. Do you see yourself, as you say, you only a rookie and have 1 year, but your experiences don't make you sound like a rookie? Could you see yourself taking on somewhat of a role, not necessarily like as a leader, but helping some of these young guys like, hey man, no, you got to run that ball out. No, you need to be here. You need to be there. Because these are things that winning baseball teams do.
Yeah, look, I was fortunate enough to be with Bilal in the same locker room as him. I can't speak for O'Hearn. I haven't been his teammate yet, but I did play with Jordan Westberg in college. I asked him about O'Hearn, and he said, "Dude, one of my favorite teammates ever. You're gonna love him." And I respect Westberg's opinion a lot, so I have full confidence that O'Hearn's going to be an absolute dog in the locker room. Um, but man, Bilal was our position player leader in the clubhouse last year for Tampa. He did a terrific job of that. But I believe that these things happen organically. I'm not coming in trying to be a leader on this team. I'm just trying to come in to play my butt off and kind of let things happen as they will. And one thing I'll say about this weekend, we go to PNC Park, get 2 workouts in while we're in Pittsburgh, and I had the chance to actually hit with Spencer Horwitz in the cage. It was a lot of fun to pick his brain to see how he operates. He is a hardworking dude, and now I understand why he had success last year. It wasn't by accident. I had the
That's
chance
not
to talk to had the chance to talk to DK and Matt, our manager and hitting coach. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I cannot tell you enough how fired up I am to play for those guys. And I think as a whole, we're going to have, from what I've learned this weekend and what I know is coming in from the additions we picked up this offseason, I think we're going to have a just 80 grade clubhouse. It's full of guys that want to get better, that are striving to be the best version of themselves. And that's really all you can control. As you know, Josh, like baseball is kind of out of our control a little bit. You know, I'm sure you lined out at 110 miles an hour plenty. Um, but the one thing you can't control is how hard you work and how hard you play. And I think we have a really good collection of guys that are going to do that to the best of their ability.
Hey, that's two things that I tell my kids. Two things you can control: attitude and effort. And at the
Yeah,
end of the day,
that's it.
whatever happens after that, was meant to be. But I don't want you to look at the success or the failure and say, "Dang, I could have done more." So, it's
Yeah,
refreshing, as I
Josh.
said, hearing you speak that way, man.
Yeah, Josh. What do you got for me with Pittsburgh, man? I'm kind of learning on the fly here, but like, what do you got with? I'm pretty. It's pretty freaking awesome to see how much they care about sports in Pittsburgh. The whole black and gold thing, like that's sick. And then, what do you got, man? What should I know going into year one for being new to Pittsburgh?
So, one, you've already welcomed yourself or introduced yourself to a fan base by Twitter by saying, "I'm excited to be here." You talk about being a sports town. I wasn't drafted by the Pirates. I was traded in the minor leagues, but from the minute that I was traded over, got called up. And the word that Noah described your playing style, I've gotten that word to be described as an old school player. And yes, it's an old school player, but at the same time, I mean, what I consider old school player is a ball player. Somebody that's engaged, somebody that's looking for the extra 90, somebody that's looking to prevent the extra 90, looking for any way to help their team win. And that's what I did on a nightly basis. And the fans could feel that energy. And when I tell you, it didn't matter if I went 0 for 4, or 4 for 4. They knew that the energy that I brought was a winning attitude along with the other guys. And I would just say, man, everything that you're saying and speaking and how you want to, not how you want to play, how you do play, man, I think you already are one step there. But I will say, do you have a favorite football team?
Mississippi State football, man. It's
Okay, no,
man,
because I was gonna
man. Come
say,
on, man. I
no, I'm from
and
Cincinnati,
it's
right?
tough. It's tough for me. It's tough for me because when I was a kid, my uncle was playing for the Panthers, and I don't remember my dad playing for the Bears. So it's been kind of
Right.
tough. One of my closest friends is Gardner Minshew. He's
Okay.
with the Chiefs right now. So I'd say the last 10 years it's been, or the last 7 years now, he's been in the league for 7 years. For the last 7 years, it's whoever Minshew's on. It was the Jaguars, the Colts, the Raiders, and now it's the Chiefs. So currently, it's whoever Gardner Minshew's playing for. Man, I got to be loyal to my guy.
No, I can respect that because I'm from Cincinnati. I didn't grow up with a favorite football team or a favorite sports team. My uncle played 11 years in the major leagues, coach for 40. So I was always rooting for who he
Wow.
was coaching for at the time. And when I was growing up, he was coaching for the Dodgers. So I'm like, hey, I'm rooting
Wow.
for the Dodgers because if they made the playoffs, in my head, I was going to the playoffs, which I really wasn't. But
Dude,
that's
that's
so
54
that
years of pro
yes.
experience. Like, what did you learn the most from him? Like what's like a
Um,
big nugget from him?
so my uncle John T-Bone Shelby, he was actually the Brewers outfield coach when I was with the Pirates. So I got to see him all the time in division. And I can remember it took 3 years for me to like really get a chance to play. I was up and down for 3 years, never got a chance to play. And I'd be like, what I gotta do? I'm staying ready. And he's like, I tell you what, you rather be the 25th man on the bench than down in AAA. Like you've already done what you needed to there. He said you one play away from, being in there. But even if you go down to AAA, don't change who you are. Never give them a reason to say that you're not working, and that you're not showing up. And that was something that I took to heart. I mean, my uncle played 11 years, got 2 World Series, and I can just remember 2014. 3 weeks into the season, still haven't started, and some
Yeah.
injuries happen, and I get in and play, and I go on to have my first All-Star year. But you was telling me, hey, stay ready. Don't ever let them say you're not ready, and don't give them a chance to say that you're not working. And
Yeah,
I
dude. I
really
can
held on to that.
I learned that really quickly last year. 2024, I won the AAA batting title in Durham. So I'm like going to camp last year thinking like, man, I'm gonna break with the team this year. Like this is the year I'm gonna get my shot. Well, I break AAA, and sure enough, the whole stay ready mindset. I've tried not to lose that over the years. And my first day with Durham this past year, an hour before opening day, I get the call, and I got called up March 30th. I was in Norfolk, Virginia, and what's crazy is I broke camp as the seventh outfielder, I'd say, on the depth chart for Tampa
Yeah,
Bay Rays last year. Yeah, two injuries happened before the second game of the year. Um, so like, yeah, dude, that whole thing about staying ready, man, it's real. Like I was the seventh outfielder breaking camp last year, and I ended the year with over 400 at bats as a rookie. It's crazy how quickly things can change in this game, man. Your role as a player can change any given day.
that
I'm
is
I'm,
fact.
I'm with that, dude. Your uncle, that's real stuff right there, man.
Hey, I held true to it, and I mean, it's one of those things where people like us that they consider old school ball players, or whatever, we don't take anything for granted. And one thing that I always, and I'll leave you with this before we, end is, people would say that, and I would always take it a step further, say, oh, of course, I'm not taking anything for granted, but I don't want you to mistake my hustle and my things for not being able to play this game, because a lot of times they will shadow your ability to hit, your ability to play defense by, oh man, this dude works hard. Everybody in the major league, for the most part, is going to work hard. So hold true. And that's another confidence thing where it's like, hey, I'm going to work hard, but no, I can play this game as well.
I feel you, man. It goes back to what I said. I went back my senior year because I knew I was going to hit in pro ball. And I think so. Like I think right now, hitting 310 in the AAA level and hitting just shy of 300 in the big leagues level. I have a lot of confidence. Good Lord willing, I'm gonna continue to hit. But I do know a part of my game is playing hard, and
Yep.
I try not to. I'm never going to try to do that. Try to be humble along the way, and but also confident. I think there's a fine line of being confident but not cocky, and
Yes.
it's as competitors, it's hard to remember where that line is sometimes, and you do your best to remain humble and confident at the same time.
Yep. And I'll tell you the same thing. I don't say good luck, which I mean, good luck, but stay healthy. I know you'll do what you do. And Pittsburgh sounds like they got themselves a keeper.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate that, guys. I can't thank y'all enough for having me on. Fired up to be here, and we're gonna do everything we can to bring some wins this year.
That's awesome to hear, man. We appreciate you coming on. Want to remind everyone watching to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. On a mission now to get 3,000 subs. We'll have plenty of Bucco baseball to talk about here. So on behalf of Jake Mangum, my co-host Platinum Key, and Josh Harrison, I'm Noah Hiles saying thanks for tuning in to another episode of Bucco Territory presented by the Foul Territory Network.